and or maybe we'll just surprise it and just put it on there. So look for that. Maybe a Christmas present for you guys.
Yo, conceived as one, split into two. Gonna talk so much shit till the air goes blue. After we're through, you're gonna wish you were monozygotic too. Just a couple of Nimpods up to no good. A couple of Nimpods up to no good. See what we're doing there? It's Nimrods. But it's a podcast, so it's Nimpods.
Welcome to Nimpods 24. A twofer.
Twofer? Let's go get a twofer.
What's been going on?
I don't know, not much. I've just been writing a little bit.
Doing some writing.
Do
you want to drop what you're writing? Or is it going to be one of those podcasts where we just like nebulously talk about random projects we're working on?
Well,
you can't really say much. You can't really say much, but it's like
why can't we say much? It's
stuff happens in this. I'm writing, but putting words to a page. No, I listen to a lot of filmmaking podcasts, and it's basically like that's what a podcast is, a filmmaking podcast.
But very vague.
Oh no, it's literally like, I'm putting words on like a final draft. I'm writing.
Yeah.
And that happens for like a whole year's worth of podcasts.
Basically, what I'm writing is just this. It's just entertaining this idea of a web show, sort of based in the world of Wrong People. I want to make it very. I want to make it the entry point though is that you don't have to watch Wrong People. It's sort of just in that world, in the sort of the tone. Much like the Fargo TV series where you don't have to watch the movie, but if you want to get the Fargo TV show, what I have seen of it follows the sort of the same world out, almost even similar to Better Call Saul, which works very well just as its own show. Do you need to watch Breaking Bad? No. But for some of the reveals and some of the stuff that fans of Breaking Bad, they'll pick up some things in Better Call Saul, but it stands alone as its own show. Like, it doesn't have.
Yeah.
Doesn't have. My recording closet has been bombarded.
I'm so sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
It's also our Christmas present hiding, I think. There's Christmas presents in here. There's also a bookshelf. There's lots of books.
Only you knew where the Christmas presents were actually hiding.
Dan's podcast little booth was recently featured in a vlog a couple of weeks ago. I think it was vlog 4 when we were recording the commentary to The Wrong People.
Oh yeah, we did do it in here.
If you know what we're talking about here, you can check out the video component. It's very small, and it sounds like they got some Christmas presents because it's that time of year again, right? December, what is it, 19th today?
Yes, December 19th.
And we had a bit of a
snow day today.
A snow day. I took a snow day at work because the studio I'm working at didn't have any power.
Can't really do much without power.
So I would struggle to get there, and then there's no power. So
did you actually?
No. I wasn't even even if the power was on, it's still going to be tough to get there, I think. I made the wife go to work though, and come back.
Well, she does. She has the Santa Fe though, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know which one's better though. Anyway, yeah. So that's kind of the day what we're doing today.
Well, it's funny because there's.
Well, you walk to work, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I walked to work this morning, but I normally walk to work. Yeah. I'm close enough, but with living on the island, it's like, oh well, you live in Canada. There's snow all the time, every day, right? Which is actually not the case. It's quite mild all year round. It's quite mild here on the island. In the summer, it gets to it can be it's not scorching, but it gets hot, and
And the winter doesn't really.
In the winter, it's pretty
super extreme.
Pretty mild. We get freezing weather, but nothing like crazy Saskatchewan weather or anything like that. Into the negative 20s and stuff, not even close.
Yeah. Well, it rarely goes to negative here.
Yeah.
Like if it is, it's like -1 or whatever.
Yeah. So a snow day is actually, it's not rare. Like we definitely get at least a couple, 1 or 2 dumps of snow in a year, but it's still it's rare enough that it's kind of special.
Yeah.
If you don't have to drive in it.
Well, yeah. That's why it's so like, my roads getting out of my town is like chaos, but it's like, it's really not that much snow. It's just, people are just so, it's just, it's not like people aren't used to it, but it's more about like our cities, and that, like, not really a knock on them, but it's just like, they're not really that prepped either,
Yeah, no, apparently
like,
Victoria's kind
like
of a gong show today.
Oh, Victoria's always a gong show.
And the Malahat is a stretch of highway that goes up the mountain from where we are to Victoria, which is about an hour drive. And whenever we get snow, it's like, it's always a nightmare. The Mallets usually close either an accident or due to weather. But yeah, with Crofton, Jay's about 20 minutes away from me in Crofton, and there's really no direct route to Crofton. It's all back roads, so it's either way you go. There's actually like 2 ways you can get into Crofton, but it's both kind of like crappy back roads. One's got a hill. It's called Bonsal's Hill. It's kind of a notorious spot for when it snows. But there's also the other side. I don't know what they name that hill. It's a little bit of a less grade, but that one's also crappy too, because there's actually quite a bit of a turn in this hill. So that one, people get stuck too. It actually, people go, oh, we'll bypass Bonsal's Hill and we'll go down this other hill, sort of this Maple Mountain area. But again, that's also kind of crappy. So it's always sort of this, is Bonsal's Hill clear, or is Osborne Bay Road clear? It's this kind of this back and forth. So yeah, getting into Crofton when it's snowing, getting out or into Crofton kind of sucks. At least in Duncan, it's a little bit, I'm like right on the highway. Duncan's right on the highway, so it's usually clear. It's easier to get into Duncan. So Wessie here is my youngest. He's almost 2 in February, and he's joining us here in the podcast. So you might hear a couple of whimpers or something, because the chain between Mom and him is a little tight because Mom has to go to the washroom.
Yeah,
this is a very real thing that happens. Like, you think I'm joking, but this is it. This is it right here. This is raw and live.
So we recently last weekend did shoot a little short with one of your kids.
Yes, Cal. He just turned 4.
Just turned 4, and for his birthday, we forced him to be in this little 1-minute horror short. How do you like it?
I liked it.
No, how did he like it?
Oh, and he too scary.
Too scary.
Too Gary. Too Gary.
Too scary. Well, we made him sort of like this weird kind of pokey monster thing. Like I don't know. I guess he like basically the punchline at the end.
A pokey monster like Pokemon?
No, like he's I don't know. He's got like pokey hands and stuff. I don't know why I use pokey, but that's kind of like what I'm going with. No, it's just like we made him kind of like this weird monster. Because he ate cookies before he went to bed or something. That's kind of like that's the
it's raw and then live right there.
What's that?
Oh, the kids.
Oh yeah, it's real.
Kids go from sweet to demons fairly quickly.
Yep. No, I think he did really well actually, but like, obviously it was kind of later, and it wasn't to get him to actually do, like, we actually kind of converted we originally planned to have it like he's kind of like under a bed, but we made it so he's sort of like on top of the ceiling, because he could do this move that he was like super impressed, like he impressed us with it. He's just like, oh, I could do this, and he did this thing on a chair, and so we used that and composited it like a little bit, obviously up out on a roof, so it's a little bit creepier. But it was funny because he wasn't really into like the acting part of it, but when he had to do like a stunt, he was super into it.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, I do it.
I think that's pretty classic kid actors.
Yeah. But we did it. I think we put a kid in a movie, and it wasn't horrible.
Yeah, it was okay.
I think he was tired and stuff, so it was like we actually like for what we got out of the short, I was actually pretty impressed with I honestly didn't know if it was really about halfway shooting it. I was like, this is just not gonna be something we finish.
That's what's nice about doing a really really short format is that you're not putting this effort into a 10-minute short that you think you probably won't finish, but it's really hard to have an excuse to actually not finish something that's like a minute long.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, and no, I've been really. I think you've been kind of caught a little bit of the kind of the bug I have is these 1 minute shorts are actually kind of cool. It kind of like it exercises some like a kind of a weird muscle like that you don't really.
I mean, it scratches that itch.
Especially coming off especially coming off our no budget feature where it took us like 3 years. And we kind of, in that span, didn't really do a lot of other stuff. We did shoot that short fuse short with Rick, but really that's that was 5 minutes long. Other than that, we didn't really shoot a whole lot of other stuff. I mean,
and if anything, if we ever had the idea of possibly doing that, it always felt like, well, why aren't we finishing the wrong people? Right? It was always this.
That's a constant battle because it's there's sometimes where it's it's not really about shooting new stuff. It's sort of just finishing a bunch of editing and post stuff. So it's I don't think there's a huge issue with going out and shooting something. But yeah, it is always sort of you're always kind of battling yourself because you're am I cheating? Am I cheating on the project by doing this little thing and then you know what I mean? And then it's also if there's also I always think of this too is when I think of ideas like that or have an idea to do that, I'm not even really always just looking at me. I'm looking at people who are in the longer project is well you finished this little short, why can't we when are we gonna see the movie? When are we gonna see the big movie, the long movie, the feature? And it's you know what I mean? It's no, it's I don't know. It's just I think that's kind of again a lot another kind of just tick on the box of why I want to for the next longer thing we do is I definitely want to have some sort of deadline.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just to really it doesn't just keep going on forever.
Yeah.
Right. It's actually I was reading this thing how it's a proven fact that you will finish something within the time that you are given, no matter what. So if you're working on a no budget movie and you have absolutely no deadline, it will take 10 years because you're allowing yourself to make it 10 years,
Yeah.
But if you're no, I'm going to make it in whatever 6 months or whatever. And it obviously a self-imposed deadline is a lot harder because it's just yourself. But if you put some sort of cards on the table of some sort, that's where I think, the whole plan of I really want to document us making our next big movie. So it's we're just putting it right out on Front Street that this is what we're trying to do. I think that's the public kind of, hate to say it in a weird way, but it's the public shame of not finishing something, but you're putting it out there already.
Yeah.
It's sort of that's a really good.
Well, that kind of idea is incredibly stressful. If you put it out there and then I hate the idea of promising something and then
it's
not doing it, but that's the thing that it should scare you.
Yeah. Well, it's yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is extreme, but I think it's worthwhile. Worth at least doing that in some way. Yeah, I don't know. But I do like the 1 minute little shorts. Kind of tell that story in 1 minute. Really. I mean, obviously these aren't huge built character type things, which we actually are really into. The Wrong People is quite a character piece, really, when you think about it.
Yeah. Well, the these tiny little these micro shorts, they scratch an itch, but that's for me more on the side of, I guess, like technical and like how to be efficient with the time. Like say this last one we did with Cal, it was like there's a short attention span with kids, and just being efficient and like working on stuff like lighting, sort of the technical side, like lenses and shots and stuff.
Oh yeah. So you're
it scratches that itch, but it doesn't scratch the sort of the writing part and like the characters and
world
beats
building
and stuff as much as like. And I really, I love that kind of stuff. Yeah, so it scratches the itch, sort of more technical end.
Yeah, I would say I didn't really think of it that way, but I would agree, because it's like, yeah, you're a lot of the time, like, you shoot something for, I think we shot for maybe an hour or two, and it's like, you're editing for a good, at least double, triple that, editing and post and sound and stuff. So yeah, it's like, it is definitely way more of like a post exercise, if anything, than an actual tech, like a story, the story end of things. But I do like doing them though, because it's again,
for sure.
It's sort of like it's get that content out there. Prove to yourself and I guess to other people that you can, I don't know, you can actually make something. I guess I don't know. I guess got some good comments. You get that dialogue going too. Like the comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
People's comments are great, and they get a few views, and you slowly build that kind
every
of
every
I hate
comment
to say it,
and
but
every
the quote unquote fan base sort of thing, right?
Yeah, every comment and engagement you have, like, it's not an ego thing. It's just sort of like it, it just like stokes the fire like a bit more, like to get going. If you work on a larger project for such a long time, like we had it such as, we keep harping on the 3 years, but anyway, for 3 years, like working on this feature, it was kind of very close to non-existent sort of engagement with people, and like the back and forth, like this collaboration almost process that you get from just some engagement.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah, so that's what you do and that's why for our future projects we're going to be focusing a lot on as much as we can, at least, on the behind the scenes and sort of just like the making of and the process of it all, because we realized in those 3 years we had very little to none of that engagement in the 3 years. So you don't have that, that fire the fire starts to die a little bit, and like a lot of these things, and we've talked about it in the past, is it takes the inspiration and stuff to start something, but after 3 years or even 2 years or even whatever time, it really becomes kind of like a job, where it's sort of this trudge along.
Yeah.
And sort of just getting the energy just to kind of finish it and call it done. And that at that point, like you look back on like what brought you, what the spark of inspiration 3 years ago, and you're like, oh, you just need that kind of energy just to kind of to come back and finish this. But it doesn't. The reality of it is that it's virtually impossible to have, to keep it up for that long. Keep that fire alive.
Totally. Like I think
that makes
the whole
sense.
Totally, because like, and like even when I say it's like, oh, we want to really bring a lot more like behind the scenes, like to our our audience on YouTube or whatever, or even Facebook, behind the scenes of like making something. Well, it like, as much as it's for other people too, it's like it's almost done in a selfish way, where exactly what you were just saying, like it actually at least will give you, maybe the odd person will like comment or like it, something where they'll comment on like what we're doing behind the scenes wise, and then in turn sort of follow what we're doing, and then but in a way that gives us sort of this army to like actually finish something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't really actually 100% think that way, but like when you were just saying that, I was like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because it's like it's as much for other people as it is for us too. Like, and then the whole process thing, like, there's a lot of people, the whole, again, it's still like that mentality of film where it's like, oh no, you gotta like, I would never show anything that's like really crappy, or like, if I finished something that was super crappy, then you don't show anybody. And I don't know, I don't believe we're in that time anymore, where, like, oh shit, you're gonna make a second film, and what if it sucks? Like, like the whole sophomore jinx and all that. It's like, I just really don't think we're really in that time anymore. I mean, maybe I'm completely like naive to it, and maybe I kind of believe in my thoughts around that too much. Maybe, I don't know, but I just don't think that's something that people really give a shit about anymore.
Yeah, I think you're right though. I think there's you'd be a fool to think that it's not changing, and it's actually it definitely very is like it's like Wild West for film, especially now. I think even more than ever, even the last like week with the whole like net neutrality thing. Yeah, is like there's a lot of questions. Like, I don't even want to watch this video, but this video popped up on my recommended, and it was like, oh, rest in peace YouTube, like 2004 to 2018 or something. And I'm like, oh man, as much as like YouTube is has flaws obviously, but it's such a platform for like all these guys like us, and it would be such a shame if this all like, I don't know, I'm worried, because like just for the little guys, like the thousands of artists out there making short films, making whatever, YouTube just being like, a very popular site, but like those guys these people are making like there a lot of livelihoods and stuff. It really saddens me to think that I don't think YouTube's gonna die, but like I haven't watched this video. It's because again, it made me too like, it was almost like too upset about it. But
what do you think? Yeah, so
like I don't know. Like I mean, I just don't. I don't know. I really hope this all like just like blows over, and then we get back to net neutrality. Like I just don't. I really hope it doesn't kill, like, seriously, like the entire Cineplex world is Disney now that they bought Fox. Is it Fox? Yeah, they bought Fox, right?
Yeah.
So they basically own movies. Like what kind of world are we looking at for our entertainment? And yeah, I know there's bigger problems in the world, but the internet alone is such a big part of everything. How we run our lives. It's just like I really hope the worst case scenario doesn't happen. Like,
yeah. I mean, I kind of on the same boat as you. Like, I'm just sort of waiting it out and see what actually happens. I mean, we don't live in the States, but I mean, you would be completely naive to think that Canada wouldn't be affected by the net neutrality rules. Or I guess the neutrality it was lifted. Is that what it is? Like, so it's actually like we had rules and now it's taken away. Is that how it's worked?
I think that
there was rules against providers to like not stifle certain sites or IPs, and
it was just a fair like playing ground all across the board.
Fair free internet, basically.
Yeah, basically free internet, not free internet in the way if it's paid, but like just free for free enterprise.
Like a world where it doesn't stifle and slow down different roads and stuff. I'm really curious on where it goes. I don't know. I just think people, like, if it's, I just think, I don't know. I really don't think that YouTube and stuff like that will stop creating, people just creating stuff and putting, I don't know. But I
find it hard to believe that would be like we live in such an incredible time where I can make a short film with my son, and the next day upload it to YouTube, and thousands of people or anyone who has the internet can watch it.
Yeah.
and comment and stuff. Like if that thing can't happen,
Yeah.
we're talking about steps backwards. Like not just in something as trivial as like say entertainment or a short film or something, but all across the board, like that exponentially, that saddens me.
Yeah. Well, you say entertainment like as like not really that important. I think I've kind of taken this stance lately that like I think entertainment's super important. I think what you create and stuff, again, like it can be inspiring and stuff. And even if it's like, and again, people like they're like, if they say they question you on that, it's like, oh, but you make like, you know, weird movies with like people chopping their fingers off and stuff. Well, it's not necessarily just the content you're creating. It's kind of like, again, like the process around what you're doing, you know, like, again, I use example all the time and kind of a little bit too much, but it always goes back to, you know, like Clerks and like El Mariachi. Like El Mariachi is about a you know, it's an action movie. You know, there's not really much.
People
to
die
it.
in it.
People die and people get shot. It's not like it's not like a super positive movie. You know what I mean? Like it's got angry people in it and stuff, but like
but it's a philosophy around it. Like the go
way
out there and just and do your own thing.
Yeah, the storytelling.
It's the rebel attitude, like the.
Yeah, and the you know the narrative of the creator and it's in you know set sail a ton of filmmakers' careers and people who like us who aren't necessarily, you know, doing this for a living or anything, but we're, you know, it completely inspired us to like, hey, you know what, you can just go out and make stuff
Like the punk rock.
Yeah, the punk and I think I'm scared for that to actually that will end or see, that's the thing, is like, I don't know, I think a lot of people are talking like doom and gloom about the internet thing. I really just don't see it, but I think it's going to trickle in more than a big wave of like, oh, that's bullshit kind of stuff. It's going to be like, you know, slowly chip away at, unless it gets like recanted, I guess, or something, right? Like,
yeah, we'll see.
Which I think it will happen once somebody that we think gets out of there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it's super scary. It's a weird time because it's like a lot of people don't really know what's actually going to happen. Yeah, so
lame.
Yeah, it's totally lame. But
it's totally lame, man. All right,
totally. Are you?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna head off here.
Okay, so
I'm on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Are we all on borrowed time?
Are we all?
What's that quote? It's a quote. It's kind of what movie's that from? But it's like, oh, I'm terminal, man. It's like we're all terminal. It's a British guy.
Oh, I don't know.
We're all terminal.
I guess we are all terminal in a way.
But I mean, let's just totally end this on a nice, like,
super dark. Dark.
We're all terminal, man.
How about we throw out a thing? I'm gonna do like a throw out, like a shout out, like do a cheesy shout out thing at the end.
All right.
Of these. Okay. And I want to really shout out to a good I'd say an internet friend of mine, Alec Rye, I believe is it Alex or Alex? Shit, now I'm like fucking really butchering it up. I think it's Alec. Anyway, he runs Little Mickey Productions with a couple buddies, and they purchased I think he purchased The Wrong People. Had some awesome things to say. He didn't like that we looped everything, but other than that, he had some good things and good things to say. And I it's just he's being completely honest, and I really like what he had said. And he started doing more vloggy type stuff with his movie that he just successfully kickstarted, which is so cool because he tried on Indiegogo. I don't know how long ago, a few months ago on Indiegogo, and he totally bombed. And basically his vlog was about how he bombed on crowdfunding. But then he tried, I think it was either 1,000 or I think it was 2,000 on Kickstarter. I'm not too sure. It might have been $1,000, but they successfully crowdfunded their movie called Unsubscribe. It's like a it's about a Let's Play player and sort of like a YouTuber type guy trying to make it big. But anyway, it's been...
Is it a feature?
Yeah, it'll be feature length, and it sounds like they got a good team team there, and he's been super supportive of our channel and what we're doing, and just a huge shout out to Alec. Sorry if I said your name wrong. It's like I feel like it's just really off the cuff. I should have double checked, but then me double checking makes me look like an asshole. Okay. But
that's the art of editing.
It's the art of editing. I'm so sorry, but I believe it's Alec. I know it's not Alex. I know it's not. I'm confident in that. But so super cool guy, and we keep a dialogue going quite often. And
awesome.
Actually, we got a ton of other people too to shout out, but maybe that's for next time.
One at a time.
And the reviews keep coming in for The Wrong People. A lot of cool people saying cool things about the movie, which is pretty cool.
So I guess this is probably our last one, probably in 2017. We might do one over Christmas.
Oh yeah, I guess it is. I mean,
what's your Christmas plans? I can't remember what we're doing. Is it Dad's house on Christmas Eve?
Oh, I have no idea, and I have no idea.
All right, so that's the end of 2017. We actually probably potted the most in 2017.
Yeah, we killed it.
Did we kill this year?
We did like 5 this year.
5? Really? Oh yeah, because we started in the summer or something, right?
Yeah, we started at 15, restarted at 15 or something like that.
What are we at now? 24.
24?
24?
It's not bad. We've been doing averaging probably once every 2 weeks since the summer. Something like that. Cool. Killing it. We're going to definitely bring this more. I'd love to get to like a weekly thing, which we have been.
If we just need, again, like we were talking about in this very episode, is we need to just, it just needs to be scheduled. Wednesdays, 5 o'clock, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Cool. Anyway, I'm Jamie Francis.
I'm Dan Prentice.
We are the Nimpods, a.k.a. the Francis Brothers. Check out our stuff at francisbrothersfilms.com, or even easier is to go we've been really hitting up our YouTube. That's kind of like where our focus is, because we're filmmakers, so we should be making films on YouTube. So if you check out francisbrothersfilms.com/YouTube, you'll go right to our channel and smash that subscribe button. That's what a lot of YouTubers say. They say smash it.
Is that what
smash the subscribe button?
Is that what the kids do now?
That's the kids say. So I'm trying to be a kid. So
we got to start another one though.
Smash the subscribe button and then smash that bell.
We got to think about the future.
You got to smash the bell too, because that's the notifications.
Yeah, but you can't smash it because it's broken. Then you can't you got to gong that bell. No, that's not going to work. You got to mallet that bell.
This doesn't roll off the tongue.
No, it doesn't.
Gotta smash that shit.
I gotta get into the mind frame of those kids.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been Nimpods 24, and probably the last one from 2017. But you never know. We might bring a late night New Year's live,
a drunken
live
New Year's.
Nimpods.
Yeah,
we should actually. That could be a fun one. Anyway, check out our movie, The Wrong People. It's on Amazon Prime, and soon we'll have an announcement of a really simple place, kind of a place we were talking about in this podcast, where it will be dropping. And or maybe we'll just surprise it and just put it on there. So look for that. Maybe a Christmas present for you guys. Okay, I'm out.
Laters.